things together. So a lot of ideas that we've been working on together. But I think you'll find that the first couple questions, you won't be graphing, you'll just be writing equations and putting it in Desmos, okay? So you'll get very familiar with Desmos if you're not already with the equation. Okay, scientists studied the weights of 2 alligators, okay, over a 12-month period. The initial growth rate is shown plus how much they gained each month after that. Okay, so I want you to first think about what variables we're using. Okay, if you did not get a note sheet, some of you with bare desks, they are right up here. Okay. So, what variables are we working with here? X and Y. Okay, what do they mean? That's what I'm trying to ask. What do they mean? What can we label as X and label as Y? Okay, we're going to have to get more specific. What about the alligators? What? Say that again? Pounds and months. So typically X is what variable? Time. Okay, so let's make our X-axis time, and that's in months for this particular example. Okay, so your X-axis is going to be labeled months. Okay, and your Y is going to be weight in pounds. Going to be weight in pounds. All right. So, when you hear the word per or of, okay, that implies slope. So, if you look here, growth rate, 1.5 pounds per month. Here, your growth rate is 1 pound per month. This is our slope. Right? And then when we see the word initial implies a y-intercept. Okay, do you think you can write the 2 equations for those? Okay, it's in y equals mx plus b form. I want you to give it a shot. See if you can give it a shot.
Which one is the slope?
Month is your x here. If you can figure out the slope first right there. Okay, so alligator 1 has an initial weight of 4 pounds, and it's gaining 1.5 pounds per month. So for this equation, I would have y equals 1.5x plus 4. If you're trying to hide your cell phone from me, it's not working. Please put it away. Okay, I promise you can use it when we're doing practice and you won't listen to music. Totally fine. Okay. I got alligator 2. Growth rate is 1 pound every month plus that initial weight of 6 pounds. So think about it, okay? When you came out of the womb, maybe you were around 6 or 7 pounds, you had initial weight, and then you started gaining each month. It's kind of the same thing. Huh? You're premature. So you might have been a little bit less than 6 pounds.
Yeah,
Pretty tiny.
I was a lot less.
What? You were 10 pounds?
Camille, you told me that.
My brother
I don't know how much I weigh. 10 pounds is a pretty big baby.
Oh, you were 10? My brother just
Yeah.
Oh!
That's what I mean. Poor mom. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so now we're gonna graph these. If you remember last week, to find the solution to the system of equations, okay, or in this case, where the alligators weigh the same amount, okay, we need to see where those 2 lines cross. So we're going to graph both equations. Now, the issue with graphing this first equation is the slope is 1.5, and that's not easy to navigate. How can we write 1.5 as a fraction? Anybody know? What's 1.5 as a fraction? 1 1/2, but how would you write it as an improper fraction? Rise over run. 3/2. Okay, so that makes it a little bit easier to graph. So we're going to graph our initial y value of 4, and then our slope of 3/2. So up 3, right 2. Okay, now we can do our second one, which starts at 6, and that one just has a slope of 1/1. It looks to me like they cross at 410. They cross at 410 for you? Not very responsive. You're not paying attention to me? Let's check those. Let's make sure. All right, y equals 1.5. Yep, 410. Okay, so if you ever want to make sure if you're drawing it, you can just put it in Desmos. All right. Now, I think it's great that we can get that answer, but if you can't interpret it, there's really no point in getting that answer. So, what do you think it means when we get the answer of 410? Okay, remember what we were asked. Okay, when will they weigh the same amount? Yeah, at 4 months, both alligators will weigh 10 pounds, right? Because we said at the beginning, X is months and Y is weights in pounds. So we would say for our sentence, after 4 months, both alligators weigh 10 pounds. I feel like that's a pretty small alligator, right? 10 pounds. They're little babies. Little baby alligators. You shouldn't even have to read that. You should know exactly what 410 means. I just repeated it like 3 times in a row. What do you think it means? 4 months. What's the 10 mean? Pounds. Yeah. So after 4 months, both alligators weigh 10 pounds.
Can I go wash my evidence?
If you think you need to. Alright, suppose you and your friends form a band. Okay, you want to record a demo. You have 2 studio options. Okay? Studio A rents for $100 to start, and then $50 per hour. Studio B, $50 plus $75 per hour. Which rate, which number is going to happen over and over again? Is it the starting one or the one that's per hour? Per hour, right? So if you see the word per, again, that tells you slope. So here, for Studio A, let's go ahead and do that one first. We'll have y equals, what's my slope? 50. Okay, so 50 times x plus 100. So x is the number of hours, y is total cost. I want you to see if you can write Studio B. So write Studio B equation by yourself. We agree? Okay, 75 per hour plus an initial charge of $50. So we're going to put this into Desmos. We don't have a graph there to graph it by hand. Let's see if we can find where this exercise. That's the one you said. Okay, right there. 2,200 is our solution. So they cross at 2,200. Let's interpret that. What does X mean again? To what? Hours. Okay, so at hour 2, let me finish my sentence. At hour 2,
The cost will be $200 for both studios.
both studios will cost $200 after 2 hours. Okay, now I have a question for you. What if you and your friends that formed a band, what if you guys were actually recording for more than 2 hours? Which studio would you want to go to? If you're charging, if this is what they're charging, okay, and you're going for more than 2 hours, why do you say A?
Because the hourly is
Yeah, right. It might be more initially, but since you're going to go more hours than 2, you want the one that has the smaller fee per hour. If you were going for maybe an hour, okay, or 2 hours, then you would definitely want to do Studio B because it's not as much initially. Yeah, it's a little bit more for the hourly rate, but you're not going to be in there very long. All right, now, bad news bears, because not all the time when we have things this nice, it won't always be y equals, okay? But the good news is you don't need to rewrite them because we've done those. So, what I did is I'm going to give you boxes, so you can kind of see boxes on the next few questions. Before we get there, I want to talk about how we locate what variables we're working with, okay? Always look at the first sentence, okay? The first sentence is going to lay out for you what the variables are. It may not explicitly say that. It may not say the variables are, but it's going to give you 2 different items to work with, okay? So let's do an example. Example 1. Well, it's the first example. Yeah. Okay. There are 13 animals on a farm. Some are chickens and some are pigs. There are 40 legs in all. How many of each animal are there? What are your 2 different variables? Pigs and chickens. Okay, so you can kind of see it wasn't necessarily in the very first sentence, but in the first or second sentence. Okay, it'll be there. All right, so let's hop into number 3. Jonathan has 9 bills in his wallet. Okay, we don't know what each bill is, but we do know that they are either $5 bills or they are $10 bills. What's your variables? $5 bills, $10 bills. Now, it's really important that you decide, is it the value of each or is it the number of each bill? And you'll see what I mean here in a second, okay? It says if Jonathan has a total of $55, write a system of equations and find how many of each bill he has in his wallet. What are the 2 numbers that we were given in our situation? 55 and 9. Okay, 55. Is that a counted amount or is that a dollar amount? It's a dollar amount. So right here where it says dollar in total, you're going to put 55. Okay, and then he has, number-wise, 9 bills total. So the 9 will go under that total bill. All right, do you think we're talking about the value of each bill here, or are we talking about the number of bills? The number of bills. Okay, so let's let X be the number of 5s, and we'll let Y be the number of 10s. Okay, you can put $10 bills if you want to, but we kind of know what 5s and 10s means. how much is a $5 bill worth? $5. 5x. Okay, so $5 for each $5 bill. Plus $10 for each $10 bill. Okay, then we want to know how many total bills he has. Well, we know he has a total of 9. So we're going to take the number of 5s plus the number of 10s, add them together, and that should give us a total of 9. All right, I'm going to put this in for us. Okay, crosses at 7, 2. 7, 2 is where both lines intersect. So let's go back and write that solution. But, like I said, it's good if you can get the solution, but it doesn't help if you don't know what it means. So, I want you to think about it, and I want you to raise your hand right now. Think about, what does 7, 2 mean if 7 is your x and 2 is your y? Think about it. Think about a good sentence. Okay, you have a good one for me. You have a good one for me, Ocean?
I said out of the 9 bills, population is 5.
Good. Okay, I like the way that she said, out of the total 9 bills, 7 of the bills are $5 bills, 2 of the bills are $10 bills. Okay. You can say that however you want. Okay, there are 7 $5 bills and 2 $10 bills. However you want to say that, just so that you make it clear. All right. Should we say Sammy since technically it's Sammy, but all right. So Sammy went to a concession stand and she bought 3 pretzels and 4 sodas and paid $11.25. Would you say Raza? Is that how it's that? You would say that name? Raza? You want to say Raza? Raza went to the same stand and bought 5 pretzels, 2 sodas, paid $8.25. Okay, so we know that we have 2 different people, right? That's how we're going to get our 2 different equations. Okay, so we're going to put Sammy here, Reza or Raza or however we're saying it right there. Okay, how much did Sammy spend? $11.25. And what about Raza? $8.25. Okay. So that's how we know our totals. What's our variables? What is X and Y going to represent? X is, okay, is it the number of pretzels and the number of soda, or is it the price of pretzels? The price of soda. Price. Okay. So price, we'll say X is soda and Y is pretzels. Okay, so Sammy bought how many sodas? 4. So 4X and 3 pretzels, so 3Y. If this helps you, you can put soda and pretzels here. You don't have to, though. Okay, see if you can write the second equation. All right, we should get 2x 5y equals 8.5, yes? Everybody okay with that? Okay, I'm going to put it into Desmos here. This one I do not remember, so you're gonna have to tell me. Want to review the first one? For your what? 25? Okay, cool. Oops. That one was D25, right? Okay, let's see where they cross. 225, comma 0.75. 225, so 2.25, comma 0.75. That's where they cross. Oh. Okay, what does the 225 mean?
How much it costs for answers?
Yeah, that's the price of soda, right? And then the price for pretzel 75 cents. I personally think that this should be switched. Just how I feel. Every year that we do this question, I'm like, why is the soda more than the pretzel? My only thought
Maybe it's a lower.
is that they're not giving you cheese with your pretzel. They're charging more for cheese.
Man,
You cannot get a soft pretzel with cheese for 75 cents. Can you? No.
or maybe it comes.
And soda's not usually $2.25, is it? I like the concession. Would it be like $1.50? They need to update these prices. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. Okay. So, $2.25 for a soda. So the sodas are $2.25 and pretzels without cheese. I'm gonna get a laugh. I don't take sympathy laughs. I'm just kidding. Did you like what I said? I put without cheese. Without cheese.
Maybe it's like it's more person. Maybe it's like a
Like one of
little.
those-
A little bag of pretzels.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, you know, like those.
Oh,
pretzels,
you know
like
what?
those
You
chip-
know what it's all about. I've never tried it.
You know.
you know, you can get like an individual bag of like pretzels, like not like a soft pretzel, but like
You know those like
Oh.
you know those like Halloween pretzels and like
yeah, it doesn't say soft pretzels. You're right. I think I just when I read this question, it makes me think of soft pretzels. And
but she brought
Yeah, where does
cheese pretzels in the bag.
but then it would say bag of pretzels. See, I think it's supposed to be a soft pretzel. All right, regardless. All right, a rectangle has a perimeter of 204 feet. Before we even start this, okay, let's talk about how do we find the perimeter of a rectangle? Perimeter, not area, friends. Perimeter would be, would you agree it would be like 2 lengths plus 2 widths? Would you agree? Okay. So just keep that in mind. Does that make sense? Okay. So keep that in mind that that's how we find perimeter. We're going to come back to it. And that perimeter is 204. So we could actually write it like this. Right? Like 204 equals 2 length plus 2 width. Track it? Okay. Then we're also told that the length is 6 feet longer. Could that be like the same thing as 6 feet more? Okay, you're used to that, right? We just did that on whiteboards. So 6 feet more than twice the width. Let's try to write that. Okay, we have one equation. So we could do length equals, and it's twice width. So would it look like that? 2W? Twice width? Okay. And then 6 feet longer would be plus 6, right? Yes? Okay. Now we have 2 equations, but they're not an x and y, so you can see it's right. What can we let x represent? Sure. Okay, x will be width, y will be length. It does not. It does not matter. Just whatever you make it is whatever it will be. So whatever you make it here, when you put it in Desmos, you just have to write your sentence based on what you made it. So like if you and Ethan made, like maybe Ethan made this the length and that the width, you would just have different numbers, but they would be the same number, It's just when you saw where they crossed, yours would be opposite with this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and transfer this. So we're going to take this one. Anywhere we have L, we're going to plug in W, or anytime we have L, we're plugging in Y. Anytime we have W, we're plugging in. Okay. So we got 204 equals 2Y plus 2X. And then we have Y for length equals 2X plus 6. Okay, let's see where they cross.
It doesn't matter.
Say it again. No, yeah, it doesn't matter. No, you're good. All right, just asking a question. Y equals 2X. It's a good question.
You don't even answer questions.
Okay, they cross at 3270. 3270 is where they cross. So to finish Camille's question, she said, well, why does it matter where anything is? So, for example, if one of them put X as length and the other one put X as width or whatever, it would just switch. So, for example, this is our width and 70 is our length. But if you switch them, it would just be 70, 32. Check with me. So you're going to get the same numbers as long as your equations are right. It doesn't matter which variable you put in. Okay. 3270. Keep doing that. Okay, so the width is 32 and length is 70. Oh, and it should be feet. Should put feet in there. Okay, there are 3 questions for sum and difference at the bottom of the page. Those are similar to what your quiz will look like tomorrow. Your quiz is just a half sheet. Okay, so go ahead and practice those. I'm going to put the answers up here so that you can check yourself. Once you're done with those, flip it over and you can do a little bit more practice, and I'll have the answers for the other practice up here as well.
So this is just like these things.
Just sum and difference, just like the ones that's at the bottom, or like the ones that we did together with whiteboard.